Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hindsight Podcast. We have a bit of a shuffle with the cast, and we have Tony Swimpy back in the house for the Hindsight Podcast. We have IBK who changes the seat position, and Yebong Monday retains his starting 11 position, starting 4 actually, which is pretty much what we have here in the podcast. But it's always a pleasure to have you gentlemen back. 11 games in the Premier League, 6 points separates the top 6 teams thereabouts. There are big games in Syria as well. But we want to start off with the international break. I mean, the fallout of all of that. And by the time we release this episode, it is possible that Gernot might not be the Nigerian technical advisor in local parlance, the manager. Speak to me about that, and what are your sources telling you?
I'm hearing that it was a damning result. Damning in the sense that the performance was very underwhelming. I thought it was the sort of performance, because building up to that game, I'm hearing the manager say the players really want to win it and make the mistake about it. This is desire from the players. I see desire. I see players who want to win a football match. But clearly, there's no sense of direction. There's not the know-how to know what to do. I see players who are on the field. We've got individual abilities. We can win a football match. We've got class in terms of personality going into this fixture. But we just don't know what to do as a team. And when you play against a team, I'm looking at Cape Verde playing in Lagos, and they look the more composed of the two. And we are supposed to be the home team. Yeah. They keep the ball better. They're passing the ball better. And I see us every time we get on the ball, and we're pumping balls forward. And credit to Osimhen. I think he feeds on scraps every time he comes to the national team, because I see him at Napoli and he's more involved in the game because they're pinning balls to him. He's bringing it down. He's bringing people into the game. He's running channels. I see him do that. When it comes to play for Nigeria, balls are being pumped forward, and he has to go for every ball. He has to try to bring the ball down. And I'm looking at the team, and it's very confusing. Yeah. Very confusing as a team.
You get the sense that obviously if he loses his job, I feel like it's more a Ronald Koeman Barcelona situation, because in the end he knows nobody wants him to be there, but because the club really doesn't have money, which is what Nigeria in the moment we don't.
So my sources are telling me that there was a meeting yesterday, and they tried to persuade him to resign. That's what we're hearing. They try to get him to resign so that the compensation he gets or whatever payoff he gets will not be as big as it should be if you are straightforward firing. No, why would anybody want to do that? But why would anybody want to do that? Maybe they were banking on the leverage of, oh come on, we've had a good relationship for 5 years and you can make things a little easier for us. It's a difficult one for us because clearly. The volume of the vociferousness, if you like, of the opinion that you should be fired. It's not 50-50 anymore.
It's overwhelming, actually.
It's not 50-50 because over time it used to be, okay, either way or the other. People were standing this way, some people were standing this way, but everyone is on one side.
I think the last 2 international breaks have done a lot of damage. And I was speaking to, I think it was Rufai I was speaking to, and, I think it was Rufai of Moses. And one of the things we arrived at is that, some managers are better coaching underdog teams. I think that's what when he took over the job, we were, if you like, in quote-unquote disarray, right? Didn't qualify for a lot of tournaments and whatnot. So we were technically underdogs or relatively underdog going into many games because we didn't expect to win. So if you look at his history as antecedents, with Niger, I think with Burkina Faso, I think with Gabon as well.
Yeah.
Those teams are naturally teams that you don't expect to take up any points against the bigger boys. Sure. But the moment we became favorites going into games,
everyone expects us to win.
Then we started struggling, right? Expectations were raised. So I just get the sense that he's taken and I've said this for a while, there's nothing wrong with that. Taking the team to a level where someone needs to now go forward. Yeah. So, not to sound biblical, but it's sort of like John the Baptist. Do you understand?
Obviously.
So is that something that managers should be comfortable with? Because when you, globally speaking, it's almost like a slight on your capabilities or your abilities. But you and I know that there are some managers that are better coaching and grooming players, right? But in terms of putting them in competitive environments, they're they don't have the gravitas to control or to bring out the best on players.
I have to say this, and I'm not making any case for Gernot Rohr. I don't think he's. I mean, over time, we've defended Gernot Rohr. We thought, come on, this guy's built some stability.
No, at the time, rightly so.
And at the time, rightly so.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I just don't feel he's getting the best from those players. Now, make no mistake about it, and then even the players hear this. I'm sure they might not like the sound of this, but a lot of our players are bang on average. Bang on average. I look at the case of Leon Balogun. I like him. Gives everything.
I think Leon is average, to be honest.
He's the best defender in that central defense.
Is he?
He couldn't get a game at Brighton. The same Brighton. And I'm not being...
But does well for Rangers now.
Come on, Rangers is in the Scottish League. And the Scottish League is just a level above the Championship in England.
Which is the Premier League.
No, just a level in terms of... I think some teams in the Championship can go to the Scottish League and do very well.
True.
I'm not being disrespectful to the Scottish League, but Leon Balogun is bang on average. William Trusekong, bang on average. How many of our players will start games for the Senegalese national team?
Which is the power of a narrative.
How many of our players will start a game for the Senegalese national team? How many of our players will start a game for the Ivorian national team? So these are questions. As much as we can blame the manager, and much as we can call out the manager, my beef with the manager is the fact that we can't have this kind of players, which by our very average standards, good enough. I mean, they're playing for good clubs in Europe. We can't have this kind of players and be going into games and playing like we are the underdogs. You can't have Wilfred Ndidi, in my opinion. We talked about Ndidi many times on this show. Best in his position in Europe. And I dare say top 3 in the world.
Yeah.
You can't have those kind of players go into games and we're backs against the wall, against Cape Verde Island, against Central African Republic. And I'm seeing Algeria scoring 20-something goals. I'm seeing Senegal smash teams home and away, 3-0, 4-0. And these are countries who, in all honesty...
But you just said those guys have better players than we do.
They may not have better players. Because look at Senegal, for instance. Senegal just have someone like Mane, big player.
Idrissa Gueye.
No, they have starters in their squad.
They have the defender. Idrissa Gueye.
They have Mendy.
But as a team, we have more players of note than they do. But as a team, Ferdinand Colley, is it Ferdinand Colley or Aliou Cisse? Is the coach of Senegal. My word, what a job he's done with that team.
Dress,
What a job he's done with that team. So every time you see Senegal come to your home, you know that you are going to have war for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's not just, Mane is a good player, Ismail Assar is a good player. It's not that. As a team, and this is my beef with the manager, I don't think the manager is milking what we have on ground.
I just find him a bit outdated. I think that's the wrong word, right? But I find that I cannot place him anywhere, right? I find him basic.
Yeah.
And for elite positions, and I say this with the greatest humility, in elite positions, right? Not just in football.
Yeah.
In oil and gas, wherever you are, in banking, in finance, in tech. Once you're in an elite position, only the best must occupy those positions.
Fact.
Right? You cannot have a Nigerian national team. The head coach is average. It cannot happen. Now, you can say who is the best in class on the African continent. Gernot doesn't make a top 10.
Yeah, I agree.
So what? Okay, if we cannot get Javier Renard, who is one of the best in class, or I'm not sure how highly Hugo Bruce is rated. But if you cannot get those people, Keshi was the best in class. Keshi was the best in class when he was national team manager.
Look at what Hugo Bruce has done.
Keshi
Look at what Hugo Bruce has done.
Nations Cup as well.
No, Keshi missed out Nations Cup, but he won one.
And the point is that he missed out as well.
No, he won.
So you can't say he won it fine, but you can't say the way you use that word best, I still feel that if Keshi,
I said best in class.
If Keshi was given this time, if Keshi was given this time, it won't be as successful.
That's if I
know it's a conditional statement. It's a conditional statement, but yes.
Every year,
you can't do it.
You get nominated for the Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Award. Every year you get nominated. You have not won any. And then they nominate somebody first time and he wins. Don't you know that the person is higher than you? Don't you know that? Keep getting nominated.
That's a different one entirely. That's a different one entirely.
Yes.
No. What he's saying that Keshi won Gernot Rohr has qualified us for every tournament.
I feel I'll pick Gernot Rohr ahead of Keshi in terms of managerial know-how. Yes. Roberto Di Matteo also won the Champions League with Chelsea.
Roberto Di Matteo was
gave him more time.
He was unfairly treated.
No, they gave him more time. They gave him more time, and he didn't do anything the following season. The same thing, Keshi. After we won the Nations Cup,
they gave him more time. Di Matteo was fired in October.
Was fired in October.
That's what I'm saying. They gave him contract. They gave him 2 years, I think.
They fired him
the Champions League.
3 months into the contract.
What is in your cup?
The point is that
Relax.
Say what is in your cup?
Someone wins Champions League in May.
Yeah.
Gets fired in October. What's the time?
My point is that
summer break. There's summer break between
it was on interim basis when he won the Champions League, and they gave him a proper contract immediately.
And they fired him after a few months into the contract.
Yes, the point is that they used the success of the Champions League to give him that contract. And what happened in the end? So you can't just say because someone won a trophy, now place him ahead of someone who has been able to stabilize a team for a while. You can't. That's why you cannot place Stephen Keshi ahead of Gernot Rohr.
I'm not doing that.
You just said that.
I'm not doing that, but I'm telling you that Stephen Keshi won.
It's very unfair to Gernot Rohr.
Ibuku, listen.
Yes.
Stephen Keshi and Gernot Rohr are on the same level. Right? As far as Nigeria's achievements are concerned.
Fact.
They're on the same level.
Fact.
Let's not do that. You can't put... Are you kidding me?
Hold
on a sec. Hold on a sec. You know Gernot Rohr has the best team we've had in generations.
Fact.
If you look across every single position, we have a player, 2 players. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
You understand? Keshi went to the World... As in, there are players
Keshi went to the Nations Cup with...
Keshi went to the Nations Cup with... And that's the only time we ever knew them.
For Sunshine.
After that was the end.
Azubuike Kwekwe from Warri Wolves.
Obabona, Sunday Mba... Aniche, sorry, what's his name? The other guy, the bull in front, the guy that looked like Amokachi. After that time, did you hear about those players again?
No.
Now, what that tells you is that the manager squeezed out, made lemons from lemonade. That's what he did.
Something from those boys.
That means now you're saying
absolute fact.
That might be the reason it qualified.
But it's facts now.
That's what
you
was
can confirm that. You understand? So you go back to Sir Alex Ferguson's title-winning season, the last one, right? The team were done.
Yeah.
But you see, there's something about knowing how to navigate a cruiser. You know, you're just navigating it. You're just navigating. You say, you know what, you're not going to play today because I need you for the stretch. You know, it's managing the personalities in the team, managing the fitness, managing everything. So what he's doing is multitasking on many jobs. After Ferguson retired, Ferdinand looked like he should have retired 4 years before that time. Vinicius should have gone to Saudi Arabia since. You get Rooney looked a disaster.
So what you're saying? It takes a manager. It takes someone who knows what to do, how to get the players to do what he wants.
You have Ndidi in the team.
Yeah.
Best in his position in Africa, right? Osimhen is the best striker on the African continent at the moment.
Fact.
I don't know if you disagree. Right?
And you're not playing to his strengths.
Even in the world,
right?
And you're pumping balls to him.
He's doing well.
So, I mean, what are we talking about? So
I think this changes everything. The moment, if you say Keshi Gernot Rohr, the moment you win a title or win an award, it changes your status. It moves you
I want to know. Title. I
want to know.
Because you were using AMVCA.
That's why AMVCA. Because
that's why I want to. I just want to give that.
How the AMVCA has passed? How it has passed?
I'm just saying.
They've not done it for you.
No. Because you feel like we're doing a hype for them, but
I'm just saying. But anyways, once you win a title, I think it kind of gives you an edge over the other manager. Like
more so what you do with the quality of squad
that you have
that we had
it
at the time
was different. So I feel Keshi will go ahead.
You get,
I love those players. I love those players.
I used to feel like we're ganging up against you.
No.
You see,
no
on
one is
Nigeria in
coming
the last
for
1
him.
week. On Nigeria in the last 1 week, you have been saying a lot of things that I should throw you out on Lagos. I should tell you.
You know. I won't lie. I saw the game against what's this guy's name again?
Liberia.
No, this one.
Cape Verde.
The fact you can't even remember their names is a
I didn't watch the game.
It was quite.
I didn't watch
I don't
it,
know.
and I knew I
felt the problem with Rohr is that I think it doesn't, like you guys said, and I will agree with that. It doesn't know the quality of squad he has, and he's not a coach that experiments a lot. I remember when I went to interview one of these players while I was in OU. I won't mention his name. I think I told you one time. We went to meet him. Hey, bro, what's up? How you doing? What thing they happen?
Why you not gonna mention the player's name?
I don't want to mention names. And I said, so how did you see the game? What was it? This thing? I beg, leave me. I been gonna leave me. Make na go meet player we play. Make na go meet people we play.
Why you to ask player? How did you see the game?
How did you see the game?
You see him with an eye, with an ear. No, journalists should stop that thing. And I think you are busted up. The spirit led you there. The moment I see
the player doesn't
someone
play,
put a phone or a midget in front of a player and ask, how did you see the game? What kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? You saw the game, ask the player specifics. Yes. What kind of ambiguous question is that?
No, but we were asking.
Let's asking different questions as well. When I was in UU, I was seeing an MPFL game. And after the game, we're having a post-match with the coaches, and I'm hearing journalists. And sometimes I used to feel so offended. I feel like slapping them. Every match, you finish a football match, and you're starting. Coach, did the better side win? You don't want me. What do you expect him to say? and you ask this question every flipping week.
No, but I think
you're saying did the better side win? Did the better side win? So wait, what do you expect the coach to say?
This coach is
this is the losing coach.
But I think what got this Nigerian player annoyed was that number one, he didn't play, and number two, a lot of them have been hearing some things that Gernot Rohr does not experiment. Like you invite 23 players, despite being friendly games, you don't even try some of these players. It's quite unfair. These guys, their families are watching them on the stands. We were talking before we came on. I said there's this particular player that was just annoyed on the bench during this last game.
No, but that's normal.
That's fine.
Players get frustrated when they're not playing. You understand? But what IBK says, and it's an opinion that a lot of people hold, is the fact that you can't go into, you have what I see is that I think Gernot has a bubble of players that he trusts.
Yeah, that's what I said last week.
He has a bubble, where he has
he doesn't test any other thing.
I trust this one.
Yeah.
And club football is not like national team football. Because club football, if you play this one this week and he plays nonsense, you play him again another time, he plays nonsense, the fans will start to make trouble. It's just like with Arsenal. I've been screaming for years that Pepe should not touch one corner kick at Arsenal again or free kick. He goes to the corner flag, he whips it, he doesn't beat the first man. Obviously, the club noticed it. Fans started getting so frustrated. Now he doesn't touch corners again. Now, Smith Rowe and Saka, and Arsenal scoring with set pieces because they are whipping the ball and giving Gabriel and the rest something to attack. So when you play national team football, you play this month. Maybe you don't play again till another month. Mm-hmm. So this guy plays nonsense this time. He comes back again, and you still play him again. So the
problem I even have with that is
the fans don't have the time.
The problem I even have with that is, national team selection are based on the form you have with your club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So if you have a good form in October, and you've been chosen off of back of that good form, and maybe you have an injury and you don't get played in that October window, and when you play national team, you now buy yourself the chance to get called up again. Not off of your club's form, but because you had a good time in this particular one. So you call it. So when you don't play me here, and maybe I go back to the club and I don't play well, that kind of thing. You wasted my call up the other time.
Yes, true.
And I've said this over and over again. Not on the podcast.
What's the point?
Not on the podcast, but somewhere else. I said, look, for example, a player like John Ogu, right? I feel like the last couple of years that John Ogu was in the team, I thought Rohr just wasted that guy.
Yeah,
because
true.
Amifi was screaming out for a player like that, and I know people will say, "Oh, they played him once and he didn't play well," but you cannot play someone once and expect. And John Ogu wasn't even having regular game time at his club. But if you've kept calling Ahmed Musa, who at the point didn't have a club, and you kept calling him, why don't you give Ogu the same chance to
Frank
play?
Onyeka played for Nigeria in a friendly game once. They brought him on a few minutes. They said, he's not good enough. They didn't call him again. The guy earns a move to Brentford. Beast performance against Arsenal. Beast performance against Liverpool. Now they are calling him back.
I think they invited him in the last.
No, they invited him again. Obviously, you will invite him to place in the Premier League. So you get the sense that clearly, and I don't like to say this. I mean, it's a very vile word to use, but sometimes I look at Gernot and I feel he's clueless. It's not a nice word to use about someone who is a professional and it's a job, but that's what I get to see. Like, you don't know what you're doing.
And that's that. So I think those are the final thoughts on the Super Eagles. Look, I think it's only right that we round off with, in the period he's been here, done a good job. And you have to say that because he's done a good job in the period he's been here.
Yeah.
I feel like the last three...
This is what I've been saying.
I feel like
that people think I'm just...
Ibukun, but I'm not saying it now.
No, this is just they pay me.
Calm down now.
Also, our clubbers, all of them were against me. I said that the fact is that at least we should praise Gernot Rohr for the stability.
No, think about football fans.
Nigerians, some people don't even say that.
The thing about football fans is this, and I think we must understand this, and even professionals that eventually cross the divide from fandom to working in a professional capacity must understand that football is a result-based game.
Fact.
And the fans are fickle. The media is fickle.
As good as your last game.
Media is fickle as well. However, when you take a step back to look at things a bit more wholesomely, then a bit more perspective comes in. A bit more content comes in. The last international windows, last three, have undermined or threatened to undermine his time. Just like Wenger. Wenger had a terrible last couple of years, but when you look back at Wenger, that's one of the greatest managers ever managed in the Premier League. You can't tell fans not to feel the way they feel in the moment because of what he did in the past.
Very true.
Do you understand? Very few people have that kind of capital.
More so when they've enjoyed some sort of success, and then you take them to a year of decline or two. Yeah. It's quite very frustrating.
In any other job in the world, and I think Tokwe made a great point on Clubhouse. In any other job in the world, if you're working on radio or TV, or you're working in oil and gas, you're working in fintech, if you all of a sudden stop performing, you think they're going to sit down and let you...
No.
In any other job in the world, you get in the military, in healthcare. If you stop doing the right things, it is only right that we start questioning what has gone wrong, or is it a natural diminishing return? So it's what it is. I don't know why people take things personal, especially
it's a professional space.
On Clubhouse. It's nothing to do with what him as a person or the job he has done. He's done a fantastic job. From where we were. And that's why context is important. From where we were to where we are now, we just feel like we need to go ahead and do more. Yeah. It is what it is, right? That's it. So, congrats to Gernot Rohr. Whatever it turns out, I'm sure he's always going to welcome here. I'm sure if he takes a trip down 3 months and comes back, you get a hero's welcome. Yeah. I bet you that.
Absolutely.
I bet you that.
Absolutely.
So that there is that.
Hi there. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Please leave a subscribe on the channel, The Hindsight Podcast, and also on Instagram at The Hindsight Podcast. It's the same on Twitter as well. Leave a like, a retweet, or a comment. We'll see you soon.